All right, today we're going to do probability, which is like my favorite time. I'm so sad we're missing it, but so I would usually have you inspect a deck of cards. So if you have some cards, feel free to pull them out and tell mom and dad it's part of math. But what we have here is a deck of cards. You can see we go from king, queen, jack, down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then an ace. Okay, so there's four sets for suits, right? We have spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Spades and clubs are black. Hearts and diamonds are red, right? And it's half and half. We call these the face cards because there's literally a face, king, queen, and jack. And ace is kind of its own thing. So I'm just going to push these to the side for right now. Then I would give you guys a bunch of dice. I know you're sad, right? And you wish, so one is called a die. This is a die, and multiple is dice. On each, there's 6 sides, and there should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course 6. Okay, and then we would look at some coins, and we'd say there's 2 sides to a coin. We have heads, and we have tails. So I was told in this last test, what would that be? That would have been the October 2019. Said there's an increase in probability. So we want to definitely cover it. They may not ask you all these questions, but we're going to need them to answer our questions. So the first thing I would have you do is to tell me how many red, what's the probability? So probability is the desired outcome over all possible outcomes. Oh, first of all, do you know how many cards are in a deck? I hope you said 52. So what's the chance of me getting red? Well, red, there was 26 out of 52, or like we said, 1/2. Oh, I can't. I'm not going to use pen. We learned that last time. Okay. So what's the chances of me getting a queen? How many queens were in there? I hope you said 4. 4 out of 52 reduced is 1/4, right? There's 1 in all 4 of the suits. Okay, the chances of getting an 8, you would, oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, 4 out of 52, 1/4. What's the chances of getting a heart? I should have done it when we were there, but there's 13 in each suit. So 13 hearts out of 52 would be one. This should have been 1 out of 13, Goober. I'm so sorry. I can't start over there because I don't have another piece of paper. You just get to know I'm not perfect. You probably already know that. Okay, so then we would say, what's the chances of me drawing a face card? So we had a king, a queen, and a jack, so that's 3 times 4 suits is 12 out of 52, which is 3 out of 13, which makes sense, right? There's 3, king, queen, jack, out of each suit, which there's 13 in each one. And then I would challenge you guys to figure out what's the chances of an even number and what's the chances of pulling an odd number. That's going to take a little bit more time. Let me give you a second. So for our even, we have a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, and a 10. So that's 5 out of the 13, or you could have done 5 times 4 is 20 out of 52 and got there the same way. And then how many odds? I hope you said there's a 3, a 5, a 7. There's not a 1. That's an ace. So that's why it's 4 out of 13. Okay, moving on. So again, it says, what are the odds that you flip a coin and you get heads? So the desired outcome is heads. There's only 1 heads out of a possible 2 options. So that's why it's 1/2. And then we're going to get to the questions that's more likely to give you. So it says that currently we have 5 yellow, 10 red, 15 green, and 20 blue. They did not tell you the total. You have to add it up and find out that there's 50. Okay, now I put this because I don't want to read again. I don't like reading. I'm a math teacher. I don't like to read. So I put this so that whenever it says, what's the chances she's going to get a red? Then I can just go right here and say, oh, 10 out of 50, which is, of course, 1/5. Okay, but then it says the not outcome. Okay, so what's the chances of her not getting a green? So not getting a green means that she could get a yellow, a red, and a blue. So I've got 5 plus 10 plus 20. That's 35 out of 50, which reduces to 7/10. Sorry. Okay. This is pretty much the gold of the packet because this is where they're going to ask you the questions. So if they say either or, that means we want to add. Okay, so here's what's funny is on this packet it even says there is such a thing, but you will never be asked to do this on the ACT. And I used to tell my students, I'm going to teach this to you, but you don't need it. Guess what? December 2018, they put it on the test last year. So I have proof of it. You'll take that test later, and it's on there. So please, please, please pay attention. If it's either or, we're going to add. So here, let's go. It says, okay. Oh, I gave examples. That's what I'm looking for. So let's do an example. Let's say the answer is we're going to flip a coin and we get tails, and either flip a tail or we roll a 4. So flipping a tail, what's the chances of that? We would say, a tail, we would say that's 1 out of 2. Either or means add, and then rolling a 4. What's the chances of this? 1/6. And so we'd use our calculator and we would get 2/3. Let me give you a second. I want you to think about, here's your second example. What if I told you either you draw an ace or you flip a tail? Okay, hopefully you paused and tried it. So how many aces are there? There's 4 aces. So we've got 4 out of 52. And then a tail is again 1/2. And so that'd be 15/26. Okay, let's get to the question again. So again, we've got this 5 yellow, 10 red, 15 green, 20 blue, which is a total of 50. And it says, what are the odds that we get either a red is that 10 out of 50, or a green is 15 out of 50. So 10 plus 15 is 25 out of 50 is 1/2. If it says either and or, we want to add. If it says both and, I don't know why it's not written there, both and, we want to multiply. Okay, so down here, what are the odds that Jenny will roll a pair of dice and get a 6 on both? Ooh, buddy. So you're at Vegas and you want to get snake eyes, huh? Ooh, I just did it. What's the chances? Take a second to think. Okay, well they did say 6s, so I'm going to go with that. So what's the chance of me getting a 6 on this die? 1 out of 6. What's the chance of me getting a 6 on this die? 1 out of 6. So if it's and, we'd have to multiply. So that's 1 out of 36 chance. But sometimes you just get lucky. All right. Here are 3 problems. So I would suggest 3 minutes, and you're trying to get at least 2 correct. Go. Okay, I'm going to assume you paused and tried this on your own. This is only beneficial if you're willing to stop, pause, and try it yourself. So right here it says that we've got this 750 piece puzzle with 5 extra pieces. That's evil. But it says, what's the probability that I'm going to get one of those extra pieces? Well, we know that the desired outcome is that 5, but what you have to know is that 750 plus 5 is 755. They should have reduced it, but they didn't, and so there it is. The next one says, what's the probability, what are the odds in the age group, I'm not going to read all that, in the age group versus not in the age group of 25 to 35. So here's the symbol, so I'm going to do 42. I just lost that pen. All right, and not in the age group. So that means all the rest of these, right, which would add up to 58. And then in my calculator, there's no reason for me to do that in my head. 42 divided by 58, math, inner, is 21/29. And so that would be the ratio. And the last one here, we've got 12 red, 5 yellow, 15 green. How many additional red? Oh yes, this is a good one. So this would add up to 32. Okay, so it's asking me, what would I have to add to red? How many red marbles would I have to add in order to get a fraction of 3/5? So let's look. So red, it's this one. So if I added 13 here and to my total, right? Because if I add it here, it'd have to add to my total. That would be 25 over, wait, what? Yeah, 13, yeah, 25. Where does that work? I don't know. 32 plus 13 is 45. And if I did that, 25 divided by 45, math, inner, I get 5/9. That's not 3/5. So I know it's not this answer. Right? So then I go on to the next one, 18. If I add 18, I would get 30 over 50, which is 3/5. So that's the correct answer.